The thing is throughout my life, I've seen so much happen for people and even for myself. You know, I was diagnosed with a brain tumor, you know, sophomore year of high school, and that didn't stop me. Thank God it's shrinking.
I look at this photo, I'm like, this is really me.
You know, I've always found the desire to push through it. You know, no matter what type of struggles you have, follow through, make it happen. We're in my hometown, Johnston, Rhode Island, at my mother, Nellie Anderson's house.
Was I talkative at this age?
Yeah.
Growing up here in Johnston was very interesting because at the time when I was younger, you know, we were the only African-American family in the neighborhood. My mom grew up in Liberia, but she came here at a very young age, at like the age of 19.
Check you out.
She came to this country and she had created like 3 stores, boutiques, that she was running on her own. And really, it's just so amazing to see where she came from. Like, she really didn't have much, but she came here and made something for herself.
You are a creator.
I try. I went to school with white kids in Liberia. And so coming to America and seeing them act different towards me, it was kind of strange. I couldn't understand why those white people, were they different? And the white people in America, are they different?
I think one big point would be, you know, our next door neighbors that were Caucasian. You know, my siblings and I would go outside to play, and, you know, their kids would be outside as well, and we would want to play with them. And they would make sure that they brought their kids right back inside.
I couldn't even understand how somebody would be so mean to little children that want to play with. It wasn't a problem with the children, it was the parents.
You know, they're essentially discriminating. It was really sad. But in school, of course, I had to deal with some things. Racial slurs, of course, hearing folks say the N-word or African monkey. And it wasn't everyone, but it was a selected few that would say those things. And so I do remember coming home and, you know, feeling really sad about it, crying about it, telling my mom about it, and her saying to me, like, listen, I didn't bring you up in this world to cry about these things. You go back in that school and create change.
So I told my kids to say, you can't make anybody put you down for who you are, not because of your color or what you look like. I say, you have to stand up, keep your head up, don't put your head down, because they're no different from me and you. The only thing different is the color.
It was that moment that was so pivotal for me, to where I started thinking about, oh my gosh, she's right. How can I create change? I wanted to run for president of the freshman class. I was going off to high school at that point. At that time, I wasn't really confident that I was going to get it, but I ended up getting it. And I was so surprised. I was so excited. Immediately, I started implementing, you know, the exclusion program. So if you're feeling excluded, let's talk about this and let's try to find a solution to those problems. I didn't only want it to be about race, right? I could have easily just focused on, oh my goodness, I'm feeling excluded because of my race. And I did talk about that openly, but I really wanted to make sure that every single person was impacted. As president of the freshman class, the biggest thing you have to work on is the freshman float. We had to fold flowers for the freshman float, and so we would go to the secretary's house at the time. She lived in Johnston. We would go to her house, and all of the other students that were a part of the committee would come to fold flowers. And of course, I'm the president of the freshman class, right? Leading all of this, the one African-American there. And I remember folding some of the flowers. I head back upstairs into her mom's living room to go and use the restroom. And I hear some of the parents talking, like, why would they even select that Black girl to run this? It was one of the parents there. And I remember feeling this burning like this burning feeling. That really instilled the drive to show her and prove to her as well that, no, I'm here for a reason. Like this is like destined, and I'm gonna educate you too on my path and on my way to success. The number one thing is I had to find that commonality with everyone, and that's exclusion. Every single person feels a sense of exclusion throughout their life. And so when I had found that one commonality, that's when I started bringing the teachers and the students together. And once I did, I saw how open they were, how much people wanted to change. Like I saw so much unity, and I was so proud of the people within my high school for really stepping up and wanting to learn and wanting to create that change as well. For me, it's very important to focus on inclusion in the workplace. I really want to make sure that I'm bringing every single person to the table. Diversity and inclusion is such an important piece of the workplace right now. There is a major disparity in terms of women in technology, people of color, LGBTQ. I look back now and I'm like, wow, the work that I do is so, respective of my experiences as a young child. This is definitely a safe space before we begin. I've had people say to me, Netta, I don't care about diversity and inclusion. Okay, well, why?